What's up, guys? Crew Perfect here, and this is Everything West Ham, where everything we talk about is West Ham. Um, so this episode is basically about the West Ham awards. It doesn't mean a lot to other teams, but for the West Ham community, the West Ham players, the West Ham staff, it does go a long way. So we'll start with save of the season. There's only really one save that did stand out, and it was this save against Sevilla, and that was Ariola's palm strike away. It looked destined to go in, and he managed to pull it off. Considering he was going in a completely different direction, he managed to pull it out, palm it out, and yeah, that gets saved the season, which I think everyone really agrees on that. I think maybe okay, the one closest to that was Fabianski's against who was it against Aston Villa would have been the closest. Um, yeah, the next award is best individual performance. Craig Dawson, against Leon, and the 3-0 win, and even the 1-0 draw. Both both performances from him, but he would stand out. He has been standout in the Europa League, but the standout performance, individual awards is Craig Dawson. Um, the This is a yearly thing because of obviously Dylan Tombides, who did unfortunately pass away with cancer, who was a up and coming talent for West Ham. Um, but this one goes out to Sonny Perkins, who he has made his debut for us in Europa. Um, for the under 23s, he has been on fire. Um, to be fair, I feel he's got a big future. I hope he does grow into the player we want him to be. But yeah, Sonny Perkins wins the Dylan Tombides Awards. The Mark Noble wins the Players Project Award, which literally that just goes down to everything he does for the club in the background, on and off the pitch, for the community. He bleeds, he breathes, he bleeds West Ham. He is West Ham through and through. So for him to be given something like this would mean a lot to him because he does. It's not just for his sake; it's for the club. And like I said, it's going to be sad to see him go. I mean, I admit I'll probably will shed a tear. I have shed a few tears over the speeches and that, um, especially when he announced his retirement. We're never going to get. I hope we will find a player, but in reality, for someone like Mark Noble, you're not going to find another player like that, especially for the love that he had for this club. Um, Goal of the season is this is a player who have won it 2 years in a row now. There is just something about him and his love of scoring amazing goals, and that was Lanzini's goal against Crystal Palace. The build up was superb. They've knocked it. Him and Declan Rice knocked it back to each other. It's flicked up, and then he's volleyed it in top corner with his half volley with left foot. So, like I said, that's 2 years in a row now. We're yet to see if he'll be surplus to requirements next season. I feel he has developed into this pitch position and made it his own, where he has been redefined now to track back and push forward. Um, Next award is team performance of the season. Again, I think it is the same against Leon away from home, where we beat them 3-0. We we was written off. We was written off from the start. We was written off all tournament, but that game just really showed that we had grit. We was ready. We pride. We just showed, and that 3-0 win against Leon, we literally made them look like a very poor team. Um, Another award, and I'm happy that this award's been named after a West Ham legend. It is the Mark Noble Young Hammer of the Year award. I'm sure the name of this award will be there for a few years for a few years time. But that is Ben Johnson, another one coming from the academy. I hope that he'll follow the path of Mark Noble. He's a very 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 bright footballer. He can play on the right. He can play left. He can, if needed, play centre half, which you've seen this season. And he's just a very very down to earth person, and he loves his football. He's always smiling. He's one of them. It wouldn't surprise me if he would be a contender to getting called up in the England team in the next few years. Um, Player awards is Jared Bowen. I would have said should have been Hammer of the Year, but we get onto that. But Jared Bowen, player, it needs it needs no explaining why. He just his stats speak for himself. He's his goals, his assists. It's the only one who can match that in the Premier League is Mohamed Salah, and for us to be fighting for sixth place and to have that contribution in the league, that says something. But then we will move on to Hammer of the Year, which, like I said, it could have been between two players, but Declan Rice, Hammer of the Year, and again another one. It doesn't need explaining. Every game, there has not been a bad game from Declan Rice. When he's put on that shirt, he's showed his quality, and it showed when we have been without him. He's just I want him. I do want him to stay, and if he does stay, you know what? That's good. That's good for the club. But yeah, Hammer of the Year, Hammer of the Year, Hammer of the Year is Declan Rice, and I can see him winning this for the next few seasons if he continues the way he does. But let's move on now to bigger things, bigger things. Man City have beaten Wolves 5-1 away from home. That's done us a favour. That Wolves are still 5 points behind, but now they're on the same amount of games. But huge boost. You know you don't want to wish it upon players that they get injured, but Ruben Diaz is out injured. Nathan Ake, 50-50. Fernandinho had to slot in at centre half because they had no centre half. And now Laporte, each to their own how you want to say it, he is out as well. So that could lead to them literally having a 50-50 Nathan Ake or Rodri dropping in from CDM. That's a huge boost for us. I would have liked Fernandinho to play against us because I just don't think Antonio could. I don't think Fernandinho could handle Antonio, and especially with Fornals and Bowen coming down the wings. I feel we do have a good chance. Like I said, I've said in previous videos, the Brighton game is the game I'm worried about. It all does go down to the wire. We know Wolves have got Norwich next. We know Man United have Crystal Palace yet, and I really hope they can do us a favour there. End of this season, Wolves will be against Liverpool. So it does. These next two games are important, not just for our results, but the results around us. There is some big news coming up, which I will let everybody know. It is to do with a podcast coming up, but just keep your eyes peeled. Do you know the deal? Like and share, and come on, you Irons.